now you do a lot of teaching and you
Mhm.
do a lot of instructing with young screenwriters. What are the biggest mistakes you see young screenwriters make?
Really coming right out of the box, the biggest thing that I see is that they want to do something that is not that is heartfelt, which is great, but not necessarily commercial. And I think one of the things that a lot of young filmmakers forget is that films have to be producible. And that means several different things. It means one, there has to be a commercial angle. That doesn't mean it has to be, X-Men or the Marvel universe, but what it does mean is it has to have a place in the industry. So for instance, um, if you're going to do something that's very interpersonal and very kind of, small, you have to expect that you're going to have a budget and contained enough that you can do it on a very low budget that allows it to be done on a small scale and in art houses or directed to video. If you can't do that, then you've got to be able to get to the stars. And generally, the writer right out of the box, they're not going to have that access. Right. So my advice is, look for something that is absolutely personal and touches you, but find a way to couch it that attracts a wide audience. Because I think a lot of times, and it's 100% understandable. You write what you know, and when you're young, you're full of this kind of anticipatory angst, and where is the world going to go? And it tends to, a lot of young writers tend to do things that are very dramatic and very small, and they're not really, that's not really the popular genre right now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, unless you can make it for a budget that you can afford to do it
Exactly.
yourself. If you can make it
Yeah,
for 20, if
absolutely.
you make a feature for 20, 30,000, which is very, very doable in today's world.
Yeah, I mean, right now there's, unlike 20, 30 years ago, you can take your iPhone, you can take your Samsung, you can go out, you can shoot a movie with that. You really can.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's all kinds of gimbals and gadgetry that you can use. And there's plenty of opportunity. If you have the will and you have the courage to just jump into the deep end, do it. But, I work with a company right now called Horror Equity Fund, which is focused on the horror genre, and for a lot of different reasons. One is it is a fairly low bar in terms of the entry into the industry, and it's the highest return on investment for narrative films. And, there's still, we get a lot of stuff that's very, it's not commercial. And,
That's kind of
it may be terrific, but it's not commercial.
That's actually quite surprising because you would think almost anything in the horror genre would be commercial, but apparently it's not. What's an example of a non-commercial horror idea? Because I mean,
Well,
generally horrors, like you got a ghost story, you have a slasher film, you've
yeah,
got a serial killer. There's multiple different genres, subgenres within that. But like, what's
yeah, no,
not?
it really has to do with the quality of the writing when I talk about what is and isn't commercially viable. And I mean, I'll give you an example. We had someone who came to us whose kind of mantra was, "I make really bad movies."
Well, and there
And
is that subgenre. That I mean,
absolutely,
Lloyd Kaufman has kind of cornered the
mhm,
market on that without
yeah,
question at Troma.
yeah. So those kind of things, but my feeling is, yes, there's a place to aim for that, but the market has become so saturated in everything that you really have to do something that stands out. I watched a movie the other day, part of a movie the other day, which was I think it was either Killer. I think it was Killer Donuts, Attack of the Killer
I
Donuts.
had the producer on the show.
Okay, so I I, I apologize. I couldn't get through.
Don't. It's okay. It's not supposed to be gotten through.
Yeah, well, then it succeeded in exactly what it was. But I really marveled at the fact that one, people got it done, you know,
They got an
and that
actor in it. They got C. Thomas
yeah,
Howell in it.
yeah, and they got it into the theaters, you know.
Well, it was
I mean, not in
because
the theaters, but I don't know if it went to theaters. I doubt if it was.
I'm not sure if it went theatrically, but it did go international, and he did
Yeah,
make money with it. A lot of it actually.
yeah.
But the thing was that the poster
Hmm.
was so brilliant That's why I got him on the show. When I saw the poster, I'm
And
like,
it's
I have to. It's just like, donuts with like teeth coming
with
out of a
teeth.
box, and it's all dark. It's like very
Very
80s
cool.
style. And there is definitely an audience for that kind of movie. And
Absolutely.
when I saw the trailer, it was like, oh.
So I mean, the thing about that is, and we do look at this, is that, that film had a hook.
Very much so.
You look at it and you go, the poster, I got to see it. I got to see a movie where donuts are attacking and killing people.
Just because it's,
and then don't they become giant donuts too? Isn't that part of the
I've never personally seen the whole thing, sir.
I think they do. I think they become donuts. I mean, it's a little bit, 30, 40 years ago, there was Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Well, of course, that's the
which
start.
was
That's the start of
basically,
it.
the same kind of, it's in that same wheelhouse for sure.
But the big difference was that back then there was no competition. There wasn't as much saturation of media, and
because you couldn't have people that said, "I've got a stupid idea, I'm going to go out and play." Although, you didn't have the Sharknado,
and it was also shot on film back then.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, and the expense of that has changed significantly. So.